Happy Mental Health Awareness Week, everybody. Thank you for joining in with us today. It is the first day of what is going to be a week of great mental health activities and speakers. I'm joined by Rishin today, and I cannot think of a better way of starting Mental Health Awareness Week than Rishin, who's going to go through a meditation and breathing session. What I thought we could do just to kick off is, I know a lot of you have been asking about progress on MindHug. Where is MindHug? What's MindHug going to be doing in the future? When are we going to be launching our app? So before we kick off, I thought it would be a good time to just share with everyone, firstly, what we have coming up in the next week, and then sharing with you the journey that MindHug has been through. We've got a video. We'll share that with you, and we'll move on from there. So just quickly, for Mental Health Awareness Week, it's a special Mental Health Awareness Week as it's our first Mental Health Awareness Week. It's so MindHug is really hopeful to be promoting people within the space, people doing a lot of good work within the mental well-being space. Equally, we want you, the users, and people on the other side, to try different therapies and activities. So we have a very active week up ahead. So just to show you what we have. So right off the bat, today we have Rishin, who's going to be going through a yoga and breathwork session. Tomorrow we have three very special panelists coming in from India, where we're going to be talking about mental well-being interventions and innovations within emerging markets. On Wednesday, we have, dialing in from Chicago, we have Julie Ostro, who will be talking about humor, and she'll use improv to help people stay in the present moment and promote mental well-being. On Friday, we have Rachel Fearon. Sorry, on Thursday, I beg your pardon, we have Rachel Fearon, who will be taking a seated yoga flow class. The emphasis will be on relaxation and self-reflection. We have a full board on Friday. We're going to start with therapeutic art with Anik. We're going to then move on to some breathing work with Allison. And then we have a very special psychologist who will share some insights with us. So please join Amira to finish it off. We will also potentially be holding a music therapy session as well. I think that's the details of that will be shared shortly. So before we kick off with Rishin, and what I thought we could do is just, I know a lot of you have been asking where MindHug is. So we thought we could just share with you MindHug's journey and where MindHug is currently. So there we go. That's MindHug as it currently stands. We're hoping to launch our app within the next couple of months, so stay tuned, watch your space. But now moving on to what everyone is here for. I'm going to hand it over to Rishin. Rishin, do you want to introduce yourself quickly before and just tell them your journey? Because it's a very interesting journey how you've kind of come into yoga and meditation. And then I will leave it up to you to hold the session.
Sure. Thank you, Chitraj. Thanks for inviting me. And yes, it's great. I think that MindHug is doing this amazing work, especially during mental health awareness week, when the spotlight is on mental health, and it's just great that people have opportunities to learn about different ways in which they can cope with it. But to go back to your question, my journey is, I guess, an interesting one. I grew up in India, where I lived until the age of 18, and then I came to London to go to university, studied here for a few years, then I started work in the banking sector, where I worked for a number of years until I had an injury on my shoulder, just a cycling injury, and the physiotherapist suggested I try and do yoga, which I did. And I guess one thing led to another. I got more interested in yoga. I ended up doing my teacher training. I then continued to teach yoga, and then over the years became more interested in mindfulness and breathwork and meditation. And now I kind of split my time across yoga and teaching meditation and mindfulness. And I guess that's it in a nutshell. Of course, I could go on for longer, but then we only have a short amount of time. But shall I lead into the meditation now?
Sure. So what I'll do is I'll put you up on the screen. So it'll just be you, and you can take it from there. Yeah.
Perfect. Great. Yeah, sounds good. And if people have questions at the end, I'm happy to kind of take questions.
Yeah, by all means, just ask the questions, and we'll pick it up at the end.
Great, wonderful.
Putting you on solo.
Great, thank you. Okay, so I can't see anyone here, but I hope you're all doing well and that you are safe and healthy. And to get started, just find a comfortable position, any position that works for you. I'm sitting in a chair, but if you feel more comfortable sitting on the floor, that is absolutely fine. It might feel good to have some kind of support for your spine. So if you have a chair or a wall behind you that you can rest your back on, that could be a good way to start. And then find a comfortable position where your hands can rest. I personally like to have my hands on my knees or in my lap. But if there is somewhere else that you feel particularly good or comfortable having your hands, that is absolutely fine. The most important thing is that you are comfortable and that you feel supported by the position that your hands are in. And then just spend a few moments noticing how your body is positioned. We all have bodies, but it's not often that we actually take the time to notice what's going on in our bodies. So as you settle into this starting position, notice how the body feels today. Notice if you are comfortable, if you are feeling perhaps physical tension in some part of your body. Whether your body feels supported by your seat. And whether you need to move your body to get a bit more comfortable. We often have this idea that when meditating, we have to be completely still, and there is certainly value in that. But sometimes it can be useful to fidget, to move, to get into a position where you are more comfortable. And that comfort can provide us with a better platform for finding stillness. And now start to notice, after a few more moments, how do you feel energetically? Do you feel tired? Do you feel energized? What are your energy levels like? Maybe even reflecting over the last day or so to notice if there have been periods where you've been calm and grounded, and other times where you've really felt the need to move. Maybe you've had loads of energy to burn through. So even if you can't tune into your energy moments at this very moment in time, maybe there is the possibility of looking back, and that will give you maybe an idea of how you feel right now. Then start to bring your awareness to your thoughts. Notice what it is right now that your mind is currently occupied with. Are you focused on something that's happened in the past, a memory, an incident? Is your mind full of plans that you are working on? Or is your mind somewhere in the future? Maybe your mind is completely focused on the moment that you are in right now. At this point, without any judgment, just notice where it is that your mind is. And then start to bring your awareness to maybe how you feel on an emotional level. And this is going to vary from person to person. Maybe you feel joy, maybe you feel sadness, maybe you feel a lightness. Notice what it is that you feel on an emotional level. And then come back to noticing how you feel in your body. And make a mental note this time, almost like a reference point that you can come back to later in this meditation practice. How do you feel physically? Come back to how you feel energetically. And again, just notice, try and make a reference of how you feel within your energetic body. Tune into your thoughts and notice what it is that you are thinking about right now. And again, make a mental note. So you have this reference point that you can come back to later in the practice. And again, check in to see how you feel emotionally. What is the emotion that you feel? Or what are the emotions that you feel if there are multiple emotions? And if possible, again, make a mental note of how you feel. In a few moments, I'm going to take you through this rotation of consciousness where I call out different body parts. And as I do this, all you have to do is notice those body parts. There doesn't need to be any movement. If there is some involuntary movement, or if you feel like moving, that's okay. But as I call out these body parts, imagine that you are simply trying to take your awareness to those areas. So bring your awareness now to your right hand, the right hand thumb, the first finger, second finger, third finger, and little finger. Bring your awareness to the right palm, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, right side of the rib cage, the waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, top of the foot, sole of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. Now bring your awareness to the left hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, little finger, palm, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, left side of the rib cage, the waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, top of the foot, sole of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Now bring your awareness to the back of the body. Notice the right sitting bone, the left sitting bone, connected to your seat. Notice the lower spine, notice the mid-spine, notice the upper spine, notice your whole spine. Notice the left side of the back, the right side of your back. Notice the whole back. The back of your neck, the back of the head, and the top of your head. Now bring your awareness to the front of the body, the right temple, left temple, your forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, space between the eyebrows, the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, the right ear, the left ear, the upper lip, your lower lip, contact between the lips, the right side of the jaw, left side of the jaw, the chin, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, abdomen, navel, pubic bone, and pelvic floor. Now bring your awareness to the whole right side of your body. The whole right side of your body. Bring your awareness to the left side of the body. The whole left side of your body. Bring your awareness to the back of the body. The whole back of the body. And then bring your awareness to the front of the body. The whole front of your body. Now start to feel the whole body as one big unit. It's got those different component parts, but all those individual parts are just segments of your body. And then check in again, as you would have done at the start of the class, with how you feel in your body. How your awareness of how your body feels might have shifted. And keeping the body relatively still, start to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice your breathing. Notice how the breath is entering and leaving your body. Is it entering through your nose? Is it entering through your mouth? Is it leaving through your nose, or is it leaving through your mouth? See if you can notice the pathway of your breath, the entry point of the breath, the exit point of the breath. And as you notice your breathing, observe also how long it takes for the breath to enter your body. How long does it take for the breath to leave your body. And if that becomes too much to focus on, just notice the fact that you are breathing. These additional focus points are just additional focus points. They're not something that you have to focus on. But if they are of interest to you, then the invitation is there to focus on these points. And then if it feels okay to do so, see if you can now stretch the breath out. See if you can make the inhalation longer, but without forcing a longer inhalation. Can you make the exhalation longer, but without forcing the exhalation? And spend a few moments doing that. If it feels okay to do so, then see if you can pause at the top of the inhalation. So when your lungs fill up, maybe before you start to exhale, you hold the breath in just for a little while, not for too long. And then when you need to exhale, you exhale. And at the end of the exhalation, see if you can hold the breath out for a little bit of time before you once again start to breathe in. And continue like this for, let's say, another 10 to 15 breaths. You don't need to remember how many more breaths. I'll let you know when to switch the focus. But trying to make the breath longer by deepening the inhale, deepening the exhale, holding the breath in for as long as is comfortable, and holding the breath out for as long as is comfortable. See if you can now notice, keep breathing in that way, but see if you can notice, how do you feel on an energetic level when you breathe in? How do you feel on an energetic level when you hold the breath in? And on that same level, how does it feel when you exhale? And how does it feel when you hold the breath out? So noticing these 4 different segments of your breath and how during each segment of the breath you feel energetically. And if you find that maybe one of those ways of breathing, one of those segments of your breath makes you feel really good, then spend a bit more time trying to lengthen that particular segment of your breath. You can make the other segments passive, but if it feels really good to lengthen the out breath, then make that out breath as long as you can, and allowing the other segments of your breath to just naturally move. Let's take a few more breaths here. From there, switch your awareness, when you're ready to, back to your thoughts. Again, notice what it is that you are thinking about at the moment. But just as you were exploring your breath earlier, and your body earlier, and you were noticing these different parts of your body, the different segments of your body, and the different segments of your breath, as you notice your thoughts now, maybe notice that a single thought doesn't remain in your mind the whole time. That thought has segments. There might be some kind of story that's built around that thought. So can you notice within the story, within this narrative, where a particular thought ends and how a next thought comes along? So you have these different segments of thoughts strung together to build this narrative within your mind. Maybe as you notice the gaps between your thoughts, or between your breaths, you can start to notice these gaps between your thoughts. There is a pause. There is a moment of stillness, no matter how small. There probably is that stillness. And see if you can notice those gaps in your thoughts, those periods of stillness, those periods of quiet in the mind. Maybe observing how over time those periods of stillness start to get longer. And the periods of mental activity, where you are actively engaging with your thoughts, might be getting smaller. I'll start to check in again with how you feel, maybe on an emotional level. See if you can check back in with how you feel. What is the emotion that you feel right now? And how does that perhaps relate to the emotions that you felt at the start of this practice? Observing if there have been any shifts, any movements, any changes that have occurred. And start to bring your awareness from there back to your body, the physical body, your arms, your legs, the right side of the body, the left side of the body, the front of the body, the back of the body. Notice this container that contains the energy that you feel, the life force that you feel. Then notice what that energy is. Whether you feel grounded or energized. Come back to noticing your thoughts. Come back to noticing your emotions. Then, keeping the eyes closed, and in preparation for exiting the practice, picture the space that you are in. Picture the room or the garden or whatever space you happen to be in. And build within your mind this image of the setting. Try to notice a sound, if you can. Sound that's close to you. A sound that has its origins in the room or the space that you are sitting in. And then as you cast your awareness further afield, maybe pick a sound in the distance. In the same way, try to take the awareness further and further away, picking sounds that are in the distance, maybe cars, maybe animals, maybe birds. Until you have this sort of panoramic understanding or awareness of what's going on in the external environment. Start to now deepen your breathing. Noticing the sounds associated with your breath. Noticing the movements associated with your breath. The thoughts associated with your breath and the emotions associated with your breath. Then check in again, one last time, with how you feel. Physically, energetically, mentally, emotionally. And ever so slowly, begin to open your eyes. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for inviting me, Chitraj. And yeah, I hope the rest of the week goes really well. It's a great cause.
Thanks, Rishin. Really appreciate it. As everyone comes back into awareness, I'm going to just ask them if they have any questions to just put it on the comment section, and
Sure.
we can pose it to Rishin.
It doesn't look like there are any questions at the moment, but
No, it doesn't.
but I'm happy if you want to direct them to me. If people do have questions, if you do the recording and you want to then direct them to me, I'm always happy to reply back in due course.
Perfect. Yeah. I think was there a question there? No, just a thank you.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the week.
Yeah, just before we go, I thought I could quickly just again recap some of the events we have coming this week. So tomorrow we have a panel discussion with three very eminent panelists. We're going to be talking about mental well-being in the emerging markets, with India being the focus. On Wednesday we have Chicago-based Julie Ostro joining us, and she's going to be using humor and improv to help people stay in the present moment. On Thursday, we have Rachel Fearon. She'll be doing a seated yoga class and also some amount of breath work as well. And finally, on Friday, to kind of close the Mental Health Awareness Week, at least the weekdays on Mental Health Awareness Week, we have three people joining us. We have Anik, who will be joining us to do a therapeutic art session. We have Alison, who will join us to do a virtual breathwork session. And then we have Amira Khan, who will be just sharing some insights from a psychological perspective. It's possible we will also be hosting a session on music therapy, and we will be posting that on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all other social media relevant. With that said, I want to just thank Rishin again. I think it was a great session, Rishin. And if anyone has any questions, please post it on the video, and I will pose them to Rishin, and he can reply on the comment section of the video. Thanks, Rishin. Appreciate you taking the time out. Thanks. Bye.
Cheers. See you later.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.